Hello guys, and welcome to Allred Timeline Hangout number 98. Still having problems with the creaking desk. I'm afraid there's no stopping that. However, the heat detector and the smoke detector, whatever they're called, I've had no beeping from those for a while, so should be okay tonight. Number 98, as I said. Oh dear, where to begin? I wanted to do, I keep promising to do another live hangout, but there's really no point. I'll explain why. If I go to the Allred Timeline channel, if I can find it, here, I have 12 subscribers, and last video, 9 views in 11 days. That is possibly forgivable. However, my main channel, which now at the time of my making this is 801 subscribers, 4 views for my last video in one day. 4 views. I'm being shadow banned into oblivion. This is really outrageous. Now there's something rather, how can I put it, I've still got no followers on Twitter. I think I'm being shadow banned on BitChute as well now. I mean, to some extent. I'm not getting as many views as I should. This isn't vanity speaking, this is reality. But interestingly, to give some idea of the views I used to get, my best ever view count is a video produced on the death of Lemmy Kilmister 7 years ago. We died in December 2015, so nearly 8 years ago. Got 602,000 views on that, which is way more than the next one is a tribute to Rick Parfitt, another deceased musician. 64,000 views, and there's The Truth About a Black Crime in America, 37,000 views in 12 years, which doesn't sound great, but I mean, I was getting a few hundred views on most videos. Interestingly, over the past few weeks, there's a video, it's on my main channel, it's called Advice to Rad Femmes, How to Avoid Being Raped at Knife Point. It's a minute and a half clip. It's an extract from a film about Countess Bathory, and it's been updated. She's walking through a city centre, and a guy rapes her or tries to rape her, and she steps in. It's quite. It's just humour, basically. Well, my sense of humour. But I had a few thousand views. It's been up 8 years. I had a few thousand views on that, but of late, this is quite amazing. Now, in the past 28 days, this channel has had 7,641 views, and there'll be 7,173 views for that video. The next best is the Rick Parfitt tribute video, 174 views in 28 days. The same with this video as with the Lemmy Kilmister. It got onto a list or something, and I was getting 1,000 or 2,000 views a day. This one, I mean, I've got 31,000 now? 31,000. Yeah, 31,000 views. So, I don't know, something's boosting them. I don't know how many views this is. I'll make this video, and then I'll put it on, I'll upload it to the Allred Timeline channel, and a few days hence I'll put it on BitChute and Rumble and on see. And bigger than next month. Excuse me. Bigger than next month, I'll load it into the archive as usual. Anyway, that's my whining. This is going to be probably fairly short. This is toxic women. This is, and I've been inspired to produce this by an article. This is from a site called lifemathmoney.com, and it's an article called "How to Avoid a False Rape Case" by Harsh Strongman, published October 9th. I'll put an image of, I'll save this image to I'll put this in the video. See what I mean? Hilarious. This is a great article. This is it's in, how many parts is that? It's 11 parts. How to protect yourself from a false rape accusation on case. With social media especially, any man can be accused of rape at any time on social media or elsewhere. Usually this is celebrity. I've done videos on celebrity false allegations. It isn't only celebrities, it's business people, businessmen, well, business women are accused as well. Women in the public eye, celebrities and business people, etc., are accused of primarily of slipping their way to the top, whoring themselves, but also financial corruption. Sometimes these allegations are true, sometimes they're both true. Men could also be accused of sexual impropriety, and with this hysteria over this Me Too hysteria, it's literally any man. But even without social media, sometimes women will accuse men, total strangers, of rape or sexual abuse or sexual something on a whim, or for no rational reason. There's lots of cases like that in the database, and sometimes I do really saying things unrelated. I mean, there's a case here of Bethany Storrow, who had acid thrown in her face, and it came out later that she did it herself. So women can be crazy. Men, you're more at risk of violence from men, but from women it's, as Jordan Peterson pointed out, when a woman wants to destroy a man, she uses her tongue. And this goes back a long way. There's a wonderful quote in the database from 1919. I'll put a direct link to that. Okay, this is paragraph 1. Paragraph 1. Avoid unstable women, leftists and women who claim they've been assaulted before. That's a lot of ground there, but it says here, blue hair, feminist, leftist, you know the type. They have a negative view of men and view them as adversaries. They also have a very strong need for feeling important and will invent stories to get attention. If making a false rape allegation will bring them tons of attention and victim privileges, they will do it. Yes, feminists, I mean, feminist definition is right. Blue hair. Tattoos is a big one for me. Lots of people have tattoos. People are getting tattoos of their faces now, which is, ugh. I mean, I've seen them before back in the certainly back in the 80s. Saw a few people with tattoos on their faces, but criminal element. But I mean, lots of blokes have tattoos on their arms. Police officers, sailors is the big one, is it? soldiers, sometimes all the way down the arm. But for women with tattoos, no. Women have tattoos on their legs, on their feet, neck, no, face, or no, just avoid women who have tattoos, and body piercings. No woman's face was ever improved by a pierced septum. Earrings, okay, you know, double pierced ears are okay, but rings through the nose, for an Asian woman maybe, not a black woman, an Asian woman, but for studs in the face and that, no. And any sort of piercing, these women, they just stay away from them, because a woman who does something like that has little self-respect. I don't like the word respect, because it reminds me of my childhood, which was a very unpleasant time for me a lot of the time. But someone who has no self-respect will have no respect for you either. Let's put it that way. You also want to avoid women who claim they've been sexually assaulted or raped in the past. They are very unstable and very likely to falsely accuse you of rape. Yes, definitely. I came close. The bitch accused me not of anything sexual, but she had been arrested 3 times. I'll say no more than that. But yeah, they are, a lot of these women. If a woman tells you she was raped, ask her what sentence her attacker got. I've been through this before, this spiel. Ask her what sentence her attacker got. If she says he was found not guilty, run a mile. If she says she didn't report it, run 2 miles. If she says she was raped or sexually abused as a child, run and keep running. Yeah, I mean, we've seen this. The Andrew Cuomo case, I'll put a link to this as well, the video I made of that. He was accused of sexually harassing this Bennett woman, and she claimed to have been raped in college. I looked it up, and she's not right in the head, not right in the head. In fact, before feminists corrupted the system, policemen used to be trained to handle women coming to them claiming rape with caution, because they would often then accuse the policeman of rape. If you end up on a date with a woman like this, be polite, pay the bill and leave. I've covered in my hangout that men in uniform, that police officers are frequently accused of. I mean, police officers do a lot of wrong things, including at times rape. There was a case not so long ago of a bloke named Carrick, who was now doing a life sentence for multiple rapes over a period of years. But police officers, they often white knight these women, and they get into banter with them, or maybe start a relationship. Then the woman makes a formal complaint and the guy loses his career. I mean, just stay away from these women. Number 2, avoid women in the entertainment industry, singers, actresses, performers, etc. Anyone in the entertainment industry is highly incentivised to falsely accuse someone of rape, because the popularity and media attention might turn out to be good for their career. They might get roles from sympathetic producers, and their social media following is likely to grow. Surprise, surprise, people behave according to their incentives. And there's a photograph of Amber Heard here. I discussed Amber Heard in Hangout 67 from June last year, the death of #MeToo. She is the woman who killed Me Too. So we should give her credit for that. No, seriously, generally it's best to avoid women in not women who work in the industry per se, but women who I mean, the entertainment industry is, a lot of it is very peripatetic. Both men and women have serial relationships. They have problems with substance, alcohol, and worse than alcohol. And a lot of them are, well, creative people can be very unstable, put it that way. It's the old story about there being a thin line between genius and madness. Not suggesting Amber Heard is any kind of genius, but you get what I mean. Never have sex with a drunk woman. Yes, this is a big one. Got some blurb here about kangaroo courts, meaning HR departments and universities. It says here, for example, Amherst College, the guy was extremely drunk and almost passing out. The woman had oral sex with the man and then later accused him of rape to protect her reputation. He, of course, was expelled from the school. Yeah, it really is. I'd say avoid college women in general, but I mean, it's very dangerous. So many young men have had their lives trashed. I've been contacted by one in particular, an American student who he asked for his name to be redacted from the timeline, which I did. But he's still out there, and again, I will refer you to the Rodney Anderson case. Follow the links. Okay, I'll put a link to it. This is very, very important because women, that they drink alcohol, they drink too much alcohol, they take drugs with them, they have flashbacks days, weeks, months, years later, which are inaccurate, and the Rodney Anderson case proved it. I've no doubt she was telling the truth as she saw it. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just. This is a big one. This is the biggest one that an ordinary man is liable to. An ordinary young man is liable to fall into. So avoid drunk. Don't have sex with drunk women. Don't go near drunk women. Right? Stay away from them. Number 4, be able to account for your time after abandoning the date and sending her home. If you do end up in one of the 3 scenarios above, that is drunk, entertainment industry, and unstable woman. Unstable woman. There's a lot of them about. If you do end up in one of these 3 scenarios above and send a woman home, get some quick proof of that. Go buy something like a snack or buy some petrol or pay with card. Automatic timestamp proof. Things like this can instantly disprove most stories women can cook up. And again, I should mention the name Alexander Economou. We'll find him on the timeline, and also find him in at least, I think, 2 videos. He had sex with, he spent the weekend with a woman who he found out shortly was a prostitute. I won't say a high-class prostitute, but one who charged a lot of money for her services. Advertised tantric services. She accused him of rape. He did his own research, found CCTV evidence that was good enough to refute her claim, but nothing's ever good enough for feminists, not mentioning Lisa Lasvelos in particular. He bought it because he was a man of means and valued his reputation. He brought a defamation action against her. No, not a defamation. He brought a criminal action against her. 3 days before the trial, she hanged herself. He ended up suing her father for defamation. I mean, it's the whole thing. You'll find. Again, I'll put a link to all the relevant stuff on the timeline and elsewhere. Number 5 is a lawyer friend told me I should record the sex. Yes, this is something you should consider. He said I should set up a security camera on my door and bedroom. It needs to show she came willingly in both places. Even that won't save you in extreme cases, but there can be problems with, it can be considered voyeurism, and in the United States, in some states, there's has to be consent for recording. I think that's for tapes Oh, excuse me. Please excuse me. For audio, I think it applies to video as well. There was actually a case on the timeline of a homosexual who he was an old sad homo, was having paid sex with a young good looking dude who, well, was dropping his trousers with him, and he was cleared of the rape or buggery, well, whatever you want to call it, homosexual rape, but he ended up being prosecuted for he was videoing, probably as a safety measure. It's on the timeline anyway. Now I have legally protected my ass, let me remind you to read the disclaimer on this website. All content provided on this blog is for entertainment purposes only. There have been many cases internationally where the falsely accused were able to get all the charges dropped quickly after they were able to provide video evidence of sex not being rape. Yeah, there's many of them. There's a case here. State of Georgia v KH by Brody Law Firm. Yeah, I'll probably add that. Another example, Manchester City footballer Benjamin Mendy. I've covered Mendy before. I will not include him on the timeline for reasons I've given before. Number 6, don't talk about how rich you are. Now this is very, please excuse the creaky desk. Yeah, there's a video here linked of a guy named Trevor Bauer, who is an American sportsman. I'll be adding him to the timeline hopefully fairly shortly. That was absolutely outrageous. That don't talk about how rich you are or how much money you have. Don't be the moron who shows up in a supercar to impress a girl from Bumble. Bumble is it's like Grindr but for heterosexuals. Yeah, that's, well, some guys, they, you know, if you're a lawyer or it's really bad to it. If you're a lawyer or businessman, research scientist, etc., women know that you're wealthy. But if you're that sort of male, if you're sort of high earner, you shouldn't be mixing with women who are too low down the food. You shouldn't be mixing with gold diggers. No, I won't say too low down the food chain, because there are a lot of decent women, a lot of decent working class women out there, a lot of decent women who end up in very poor circumstances. But they should avoid gold diggers. Number 7, send her a pleasant text message the next morning. If you have sex with her, make sure to message her the next morning telling her how great a time it was, that you would love to see her again. Don't do the alpha male thing where you ignore her after sex. Yeah, I mean, these blokes who do that are asking for trouble. So asking for his cases on the timeline of men who do worse than that. There's one I can think of in particular in Scotland. A woman named Farmer. I'll put a link to that as well. It's just, I mean, this guy was asking for it, he really was. Number 8, take her out for breakfast the morning after. Basically, buyer's remorse is a thing. Sometimes a girl might change her mind if she feels like a slut or something like that. Yeah, well, why not make her breakfast, or, you know, if she stays with breakfast. Yeah, there's a I don't use the word tweet, but there's a message here from Eric Weinstein on Twitter. We're all slowly figuring out via trial and error in kangaroo courts or social media why non-kangaroo courts have presumption of innocence, right to face one's accuser, right to be represented, evidentiary admissibility standards, rights to remain silent, statutes of limitations, etc. Well, in many jurisdictions, including Britain, you don't have the right to face your accuser because you'll be testify behind a screen so you don't intimidate her with your horrible stare. And there were no statutes of limitations in rape cases, which is very, very bad. And there's been a concerted attack on them in the United States. Again, I'll put a link to a video. The prior bad acts of Gloria Allred. This is what the Bill Cosby case was really about. 9. Record your phone calls, keep your texts, and I've heard that you should screenshot nudes. I've never sent a text. I don't actually own a mobile phone. You know, I can receive a text now and again on my landline. Record your phone calls. That's both if you want. Screenshots of your texts and dating app messages. A very good lawyer friend and mentor of mine also recommended that I should screenshot nudes she sends me. Well, if she sends you nudes, yeah. Why is she doing that? 10. Never apologise for consensual sex. If a girl is trying to get you into a false rape case, she will likely do things like text or call you saying that she felt what happened was wrong or not right, or that you made her do it, or I felt pressured / rushed. She could be recording the call to set up fake evidence. Yeah, they do this. And sometimes the police use controlled phone calls. Don't do something dumb like say sorry or apologise in any way, especially if she demands an apology. Demand an apology is a classic trick to get a fake confession out of you. It will be used as fake evidence, and she and the police will claim that it is a confession of guilt. Yeah, I agree with that totally. Number 11. Never talk to the cops. If the police call you, don't answer the phone. Cops get bribed easily, and the woman could have paid them to frame you. No, I don't believe that, but certainly at times the police will go the extra mile to frame a guy for rape. There are cases on the timeline, a couple of very good cases. A lot of cops are feminists and presume male guilt / female innocence and would like to see you in jail regardless of what the truth is. Sadly, this has become a thing. Not so much now with the now that Me Too is being exposed, especially by Amber Heard. If things get to this point, make sure you have a good lawyer because you're going to need him. You should be proactive and protect yourself from false cases because they happen all the time for various reasons. Yeah, well, if you've read this far on False Rape Timeline, you'll understand why. Most rape cases are false. This is a subheading. False accusations of rape were very common. Most rape cases that get filed are false. Agreed. There's a quote here from Superintendent of Police Manoj Kumar. Almost 90% of the rape cases, particularly the complaint cases filed in the courts, turn out to be false. Yeah, as I've said before many times, India has rape in India doesn't mean what it means here. The Indian police have pulled off some spectacular cases with false rape allegations. Almost 90% of the cases, Sub-Inspector Kanchan. The truth is that laws are being misused. Again, this is India. It's bad in Britain, but in a different way. It's bad in America, but in a different way. At the moment, feminists in Scotland are trying to undermine the judicial process in rape cases. They're trying to get judge-only trials. In Scotland, nobody can be convicted of any offence without corroboration, which can be, in a very general sense, 2 pieces of evidence. I would say that a woman who has a bruised face, that is corroboration of an allegation of assault, maybe even a rape. But they're trying to. There's been some sort of ruling or something going on. I'll have to dig it out at some point in Scotland about a victim being distressed afterwards. That this is corroboration. Well, no. Delhi High Court Justice Subramaniam Prasad. This court is paid to note that there is an alarming increase of false cases of rape. Yeah, this is probably largely due to India's daughter. Again, I'll put a link to it. That was a if you don't remember it, if you're a bit younger than me, a lot younger than me, India's daughter was an absolutely shocking case in December 2012, in which a young woman was literally raped to death. Horrible case. There were 6 conspirators. One was a juvenile who was given the maximum 3-year sentence, if you can believe that. One hanged himself in prison, and the other 4 were hanged judicially. Of course, feminists like to say most real rape incidents go unreported, which may be true. No one has any data. But of the cases that do get filed, the vast majority of them are false. No, I don't believe the majority of go unreported. It's complete garbage. But they keep parroting this. It's something called the Wurzel effect. You get a citation in a journal, and it's cited by somebody else. It's total garbage. It's up to you to protect yourself from them, because the law doesn't care about justice. Then we have here, this is the final one. Why would a woman make a false rape allegation? Unless you're a dumb, it says unless you're a dumb individual. It should be unless you're a dumb individual. Unless you're a dumb individual, buys the idea that women cannot tell lies and must always be taken at their word. I think that's probably a quote from a judge. It's not something I like judging any case of mine. The answer is obvious. Money, yeah, sure, she'll pay her money. Revenge, yeah. Reputation, yeah. Attention and publicity. Force you to marriage. That's more of an Indian thing now. Settle other unrelated disputes. There's a page on the False Rape Timeline. I'll put a link to it anyway, but it's on the timeline, which explains the reasons, motives for false rape allegations. There's some comments here. Recently, a girl tried to accuse of rape because her friends were judging her about fucking 2 guys on one night. We were both drunk. We fucked in the shower. Oh well. Yeah. It's. I don't know where that's from, but I won't bother with that. There's a reply from Harsh Strongman, and another reply from somebody called Red Pill Woman. I agree you should strategically handle this by playing the sympathy card, risky but works in certain situations, or take the brutal form by making her pay for putting you through all that. Well, that's basically it. If you visit the timeline, you'll find lots of cases that align with this. I'll check out that case he cited. It's an American case. What else can I say? This is hangout number 98. For reasons I won't go into, I may not reach 100 by the end of the year. But if you like this, please share it with your friends. I think that I deserve a wider audience than I'm getting at the moment. This will be uploaded to the dedicated False Rape channel, and sometime after that, probably shortly after that, to BitChute and other websites. And in the meantime, if you have any cases you want to send me or buy me a coffee, you know where to find me.